going to the configuration section. It's an icon to configure it, and then you choose. There is an automatic timing or some zone, time zone, and then I chose. I unclicked it, so I disabled that uh, possibility, and then I chose manual setting of the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose the manual setting, and that's what I have now. Now I have my time, my clock on time.
Yes, yes. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if I do that. Well, I'll try later.
yeah, of course, no rush. Very good, Mitch. Well, today we have a set of conversations that when Mickey joins, we can have these conversations. They are questions connected to a specific topic. In this case, the topic is body language. We have many more topics. Let me share this document with you.
Mm-hmm.
This body. I've done that a while ago already. Oh, here's Mickey. Let me say hello to Mickey that is joining. Oh, hello, Mickey. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Good morning. I'm great. Thank you very much. And you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go see my daughter Sophie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you she qualified for a project in Querétaro, so she's gonna do a performance two times. Once in the month of May and once another one in the month of I think end of May or June. So it's gonna be like fun. And I don't know
That's
if you
amazing,
mentioned that you
teacher.
like. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you mentioned that you like to compose music or just enjoy playing it, but you don't compose, so you compose too.
No, I just played. I haven't
Okay.
composed something, but I would like to try.
Yeah, yeah, of course. We always have something to say to the community, to the society, to the world, right?
Yeah, with a
Like,
message.
yeah, exactly. It's just thinking of, do you remember John Lennon with his word Imagine, with his song Imagine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
of
what a
course.
fantastic message to humankind.
Yeah.
Well, today I wanted to begin with questions that maybe you can ask each other. And so let's say Mitch can ask this question, Mitch, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe Mickey, you can make the next question, and then and so on, right? And then we alternate, please. And you can ask a question to both of us. I mean, to the other two people, right?
Yes.
So let's begin with the
Uh,
first one, Mitch, please.
uh-huh. Why do you think the body language is important?
Hmm. I need to answer it or
Yes, yes,
Or
what?
please, Mickey. Yes.
Hmm. Well, I think the body language is important because uh, sometimes it's more important the way in how you say something that the message. In few words, sometimes your body says really what you want to say. Probably you're saying something and it's the opposite um, at the way in how you do it. So that's why it is important to know about the body language and how can we use it for our benefit.
Very nice. About myself, I agree with Mickey, Mitch. I think that body language is important because it's important in the sense that it's what tells the truth.
Hmm.
Like Mickey says, I can be saying something like, let's say that you're watching a movie, right? And then your boyfriend or your girlfriend asks you, Mitch, Mickey, what do you think of the movie? And you say, uh, it's really good. And then you the body language tells the truth.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I pretty much agree with what Mickey says. Okay, nice, thank you. Let's go to the next question. Mickey, you wanna?
Hmm. How do you use body language in your daily life?
Mm, with the expressions of your body, like the movements of your arms, your legs, your Well, the expression also of the face are very important. Uh, how your eyes, your mouth, your eyebrows, and things like that. The people detect immediately what are you feeling in reality instead of your words.
I agree with Mitch, Mickey. Totally agree. Actually, there is a book written by a great German psychologist, which was Sigmund Freud, and the book is called Los Actos Fallidos. That is in English like the behavior, mistaken behavior. Like when you accidentally trip, when you say one word for another, when you have little very minor mistakes, which is not what you intended to say or what you intended to do. If you accidentally spill the milk, according to Freud, they all have a meaning, which is an internal impulse that you repressed. So there is a whole psychology behind this body language, which started 2 centuries ago.
Hmm.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mitch, Mickey. Let's go to the next question, please. Then,
Yeah. Uh,
Mm,
it's Mitch's turn.
how does body language help you to communicate?
Mm, Me first, teacher?
yes, please, Mickey.
Um, well, I think that body language is so important because if you know how to use it correctly, you can use it as an advantage because when you say something with emotion or when your body represents the same that what you're saying, obviously um, it's more probably that you're gonna attract attention of people or you could convince people, and it's really helpful, I think.
Yeah, well, I fully agree with Mickey. Actually, think of yourself, Mitch, when you were singing in the school. Remember that the last day of Christmas, well, not the last day of Christmas, the day of the presentation, you were singing. Well, all the artists, think of Luis Miguel, think of all the singers, including yourself, express the emotions through movements. They lift the chin, they close their eyes, they extend their arms. They do all these kind of movements to express their feelings, their emotions, their ideas sometimes. So I believe it's a huge compliment to the message that you want to convey. And it's not the same to say it still, like not moving, that moving the arms, moving the hands, winking, etc. So yeah, I agree with Mickey totally. Um, let's go to question for then, please, Mickey.
How does your native culture use body language? What kind of body language do you use at school? What are some examples of body language that boys use? Women, boys, girls, children.
Mm, um, Actually, I have a subject in the school of that. For example, the way that you are walking, if you are really kind of, how can I say, encorvado,
Bent,
bent,
bent, yes.
bent, or enderezado.
Straight, straight.
Okay. If you are bent to straight are different meanings. Bent usually is that you are kind of sad or depressed, or if you are straight, you could be good in good mood, or you are really um, sure what are you doing. Also, can depends of the way that you walk. That if you are angry or sad or happy or fearless, fear or
Fearful, fearful.
fearful.
Yes.
um, that could vary it. Also, and in the case of women, tends to if they are I don't know walking neutral, they tend to use put their hands in their um, how can I say this? The backs of their or of the clothes. Uh, I can confirm that. And the boys, I don't remember so much, but okay, you can compliment teacher.
Yeah, absolutely, and I fully agree with what you say, Mitch. So I am not sure if the body language is so linked to culture or not, because a defensive action, let's say arms closed like this
Mm-hmm.
is the same in Mexico or in China or in Russia. Yeah, you're putting distance, right? I cross my arms in front of my chest to protect myself normally.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the gestures that we make are innate. We are born with them to protect ourselves. We distance ourselves, or we come close to people as well, as part of well, no, I agree with you. Yeah, it's also part of the culture, because Latin cultures, Latin people tend to be closer to the other people. We tend to be more touching. We touch the arms, the elbows. We touch the head like this. Oh yes, yes, Mickey, I teach this and that among
Mm.
friends.
Oh, I remember, for example, in here in Mexico, when we um want the bill in a restaurant, we tend to make a reaction with our hands, like greeting. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But in Korea, you are making a rectangle to want the bill. But here, a rectangle is like you want the menu.
Okay, okay.
I think
Yeah.
that kind of variations refers to that. Mm.
Okay, that's very important that you mentioned that, Miss. Yeah, because that is true. How we say goodbye, how we say good luck. Many symbols, many signs
Mhm.
represent different things in different countries. Um, Normally, the two fingers like this, they represent love and peace, right? It
Mhm.
becomes almost universal. This thumbs up mostly represents good luck,
Mhm.
but it also varies in different countries, right? They almost a universal language. How do you do in the game? Oh, you like if you cut your head, right? I lost, or yeah, or how do you do the exam? Oh, very well. You do thumbs up, or bad. Well, you do like cutting the head off, right? So yeah, what do you think yourself about this question, Mickey?
Mm, yeah, of course, I think that is different in different parts of the world. Probably here in Mexico, something that is right or something that is normal in other place could be weird or until something bad or something that is not uh, related at the way that we think that, well, at the way in how we use here. So mm, I think that is different too in the way how women use body language or men use body language, because obviously uh, there are some things that women in general share and men in general share.
Like what do we share or what do they share in general,
I
Mickey?
don't know, probably the way in how the women act or the way in how men men act.
Okay, okay, that is interesting. Okay, very good. Now, some actions, some body language expressions are threatening. Which ones do you consider threatening, Mitch? That when you see a man, a woman, a teacher, a friend, a person just in the street, you see the way he stands. Why would you consider that action threatening, or that
Hmm.
posture?
Uh, okay. Did you see the movies when a bully student want to intimidate a normal student that they put their chest, they sacan el pecho?
It's
Or,
out. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
That's
that,
exactly.
or in the case of girls, I see that they had a pretty scene. They tend to sing. pretty straight to someone.
Okay. Strong stare.
Their vision
Yeah, you call that stare.
is there.
A
Mira?
very strong stare. Mirada, yeah.
Okay.
Strong stare. Yeah.
Uh, which more? Could be apretar puños.
Okay. Tighten the
Tighten
fist.
the fist. Okay.
Exactly. That is threatening. Absolutely.
Which
Um,
more?
what else? What else?
Mickey?
Um, Probably the way in how a person is looking you. Probably that the um, how do you say mirada, teacher?
stare.
Stare.
I already said that.
Stare.
Oh,
Yes.
strong stare. Yeah. Mm, normally, I read one day that when a person wants to use more space, that space that
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
or she normally needs is like a posture to show something or to yeah, to show that probably he is the person who leads there, or he is the person who is as his territory or her territory.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Have you seen people, or have you done maybe sometimes that you put the arms here in the hips,
Yeah.
like in the side, like you're looking at, like you put the
Mm-hmm.
hands sides, and then you stand straight, like Mitch was saying, standing straight and putting the hands on the waist or hips. That's another threatening posture. Very true. Very true. Okay, that there are many of those actually. Many. When you see a person turning the head around, haven't you seen a person like turning the head uh, excessively? I don't know. You consider that threatening or not?
Yeah.
Head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have seen that. And of course, hand movements like closing the fist like this. Have you seen a person closing the fist and raising the fist like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so oh, closing the fist and showing, okay, or showing the fist, right? And showing. Well, Mitch already had said that closing the hips, the fist, tighten the fist, and showing the fist in the air, right? In the air, or waving the. Actually, the word is waving, waving the fist in the air, like making this maneuver, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, Mitch, Mickey. Thank you very much. Now let's see the next question, which is also interesting. And
What actions are friendly?
yeah, okay. Which actions are friendly for you guys?
Mm, uh, Probably when you're talking with someone and this person is smiling, but you notice that it's a true smile, not a pretend smile. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm, um, what else could be?
Friendly. Well, sometimes, what do you think, Mitch? Touching a person on the shoulder
Yeah.
Mm, maybe yes.
or on the elbow. The elbow. What else is friendly?
Could be also ah how to be friendly.
Yeah. Well, what about Kira? What is the noise that Kira makes when she comes close to you?
Hmm.
She purrs, right? Like this little noise that cats make, purr.
Yeah.
That is a very friendly, very warm expression, don't you think? Well, see it with the cats, or even with the dogs, right?
Hmm.
It could be saying hello or good morning to someone you pass by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is correct.
Mm, giving someone a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. Complimenting someone. Compliment.
Oh, I know. Holding the door open for someone that it's about to enter to the same place to you.
Yeah, that is very kind. That's very polite. That's a very friendly action. Uh, you think that winking, or what do you think about? It can be friendly, right? Like if he's your accomplice or she's your accomplice, you did something funny, right? And then you just wink.
Hmm.
That can
Yeah.
also be.
Heh.
It's not necessarily flirting. It can also be friendly, right? Like, oh, we did something funny as kids, so you wink. Okay. So these are all parts of body language, which is extremely important. Uh, okay, that's very, very interesting. Now we have other questions. Let's do for question number six, Mickey, please. Question number six. I'm sorry, let me show it here, please.
What actions are not allowed?
Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting question because that depends on the context too, right? Maybe
Hmm.
that may be allowed in one place and not in another one, or among certain group of friends is allowed and not in another one. So, what do you think, Mitch?
Mm, uh, take out your clothes.
Of course, yes.
Mm,
Yes.
physical violence.
Physical violence, or even verbal violence, right?
Sure.
Physical
Yeah, violence in general. Um,
violence.
discrimination or harassment.
Yes. Excellent. Uh, uh, yes. Threatening is also not very. It's not acceptable, right? Threatening,
Yes.
Yeah.
or even using excessive power or abusive words is also not appropriate. Then this kind of domination is a feature of the system. Do you think this is true or not? In other words, um, consider two people. One is a very strong man, but is working as a worker in a factory, and the other person is a very tiny, small, slim, weak man, but he's a manager. And I have seen this in factories, in companies, in the government, in offices. And the small, powerless, weak man, physically speaking, is yelling, scolding, threatening the big, tall guy. And the other guy accepts it and doesn't do anything. If they were in a different context, he wouldn't be like that, right? Like if they were alone in the jungle, it would be totally the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you think the context plays a role in the way two people relate with each other?
Mm, well, I think obviously that there's a big influence, um, because I don't know if I understood correctly the question, but I think that obviously in so many systems, the domination is something that they use because, for example, I don't know, a government is a system, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's actually the system per se, right? Is the exemplary system, the state or
Hmm.
government. Yes.
It's not good for the government to, uh, obviously, it's not good to lose the respect that people have to the government. So that's why they normally use like domination, probably not directly, but in a way, indirectly.
Okay. Okay. You raise a question to a very interesting question, a follow-up question, Mickey, which I'd like to ask Mitch and you and myself sometimes. Is it possible to maintain respect from people? And this is a very philosophical question. Is it possible to maintain respect and still be in respectful terms? In other words, is fear the only way to maintain respect from people? And let me give you a little history about this. Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli,
Hmm.
used to say, it is better to be feared than to be loved. Can I tell you something about Machiavelli? Machiavelli is the one philosopher and statesman that is studied by basically every person that wants to become a politician. Read the books written by Machiavelli and his theory. It's better to be feared than to be loved. What do you think about this, Mickey?
It's better to be feared than be loved.
Yes. Do you agree? You disagree? Why yes? Why not? Or sometimes.
Well, it is a hard, obviously, it is a hard question because probably depending uh, in what you're developing. For example, if you are part of the government or if you're a president, uh, we have different examples of countries that fear to their governments or to their presidents, and obviously they obey to them. So, and in some cases, those people who fear to them loves them too. It is weird, but for example, I've seen videos of obviously those are all videos of Cubans or how do you say Venezolanos?
Venezuelans.
Yeah, Venezuelans. Okay.
Yes.
Um, that obviously they have fear, but at the same time they applaud everything that the I remember Hugo Chavez or Fidel Castro was telling to them, and probably it's for the same that the fear uh, makes them see the I don't know the other the other face of the coin. I don't know how to say it, but sometimes that happens.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Or even take a look at Hitler's discourses, Donald Trump's
Yeah.
discourses.
Hmm.
All of the big leaders provoke this fear and this respect, and also eventually this love. That is what Machiavelli says in the famous writing, The Prince. One of the most intriguing and most interesting writings about governance, actually, Machiavelli. Let's see if we find this book, Mickey Me, this phrase. It's better to be feared than to be loved. love. Can we read, please? Prince, the Prince, Machiavelli. Let's see, and PDF. I'm sure there are lots of PDF versions. PDF, yeah, the Prince. Let's see if we
Have you
can
read it,
find it,
teacher?
please. Yes, 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 I read it long time ago, and I found it very. He established a way to control a population. The best way to control a population, he says, that you conquer, if you are a conqueror, is
Mm-hmm.
creating colonies instead of ruling with an army. And the reason he said is that when you rule with an army, the soldiers become mercenaries. You need to pay them, and that becomes very expensive. And if the opponents pay them more, they can betray the cause. So they are not loyal because they are just there by money. Whereas, on the other hand, if you create colonies, which is what the Germans are doing here in Mexico, they are marrying Mexican women to become they are colonizing the industry because they marry Mexican women or boys marry Mexican German women, and so they become part of the culture. They become part of here, and they integrate into the society. And in that way, it's much better to keep control of your company, of the government, or your industry, whatever you create. I don't know what you think about that concept, Mickey. That it's better to have a colony, to bring the family, to bring your friends and live in a city. It's better to use to occupy the city with friends, family, or yourself than with soldiers or with an army. That's basically the message of Machiavelli. And Machiavelli is from 1400s, so from the 15th century. That's
Yeah.
600 years ago. So imagine the brilliance of this guy. Let me see. Yeah. Um, I don't know if you were able to find the book. Let me find it. PDF drive. I think I had it, but let's see. The Prince Machiavelli.
There is, well,
Yes, yes, Miss.
in put back in the other page.
In the other page.
In the no 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 in your last sharing, put back in the arrow, in the left arrow. No,
On the left one, the left tab here, or the other one.
no, the left arrow.
Oh, where Michelle lost it.
La,
This one
flecha
here.
izquierda. Esa.
Okay, I go
Again,
more, one
again.
more.
One more. Hey, there. Oh,
I went too far.
uh-huh.
One more here.
There is here. Download or read the full book free or choose the Google Books.
Ah, here, of course. Download. Okay. Oh, there. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. It was running out of my face. Thank you, Mitch. Okay. Well, here is Machiavelli's The Prince.
Mm.
I think the phrase read more or less like this: feared. Uh, okay. Whether. Okay. Here it is. Of cruelty and compassion, whether it is better to be loved than feared, or rather be feared than loved. This is exactly what I was saying. Page 93.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go there. Page 93. And it is okay. Let's see what they say and what you think, of course, because it's a very interesting concept. Uh, okay, here. Let's see what Machiavelli says. And, and here you should understand the word prince as the person who rules the country, is the ruler of the country or the ruler of the nation. So it's like the king, but he calls him the prince. Okay. So who wants to read the first part, please, of cruelty and compassion, please?
Me?
Okay, Mitch, please.
The cruelty of compassion, whether it is better to be loved than fear, or rather fear it than love. Uh, Moving on, what to other qualities of the prince, I will say every prince will want to be esteemed. You can hear me, teacher?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I want to be esteemed, compassionate rather than cruel, but I have warned him to be careful about compassion. Cesar Borgia, what deemed cruel, but his cruelty pacified Romagna, united and subjected. Truly seen, these were more compassion than what the Florentines did. The Florentines temporized and procrastinated in Pistoia in the name of compassion, only to let the town be destroyed. A, a prince should ignore charges of cruelty and makes his priority to unite and faith of his subjects. Many times it is better to take a hard line, to let compassion and softness lead to disorder and riots. These are counter to the public goods. Disciplinary actions only coerce a few. The offenders among brains. It is hardest for the new prince to avoid charges of cruelty because new states are full of threats. Virgil put these words into the mouth of Dido. Hard political necessity and the newness of the real forced me to take those measures and deploy troops to protect my realm.
Okay, what do you think? Thank you, Mitch. What do you think of that paragraph, Mickey? Mitch, what's your opinion? He said, yeah, that in some cases, if you are too soft, can lead to disorder and riots. That creates chaos and indiscipline, and people do whatever they want. So,
Yeah.
and that is more problematic than being very strict or severe or even cruel. What do you think of this concept?
Well, it's something unfortunately true because I've noticed in so many cases, for example, in my school, there are teachers that are so nice and so calm, and normally my classmates and they do a disorder on class in class, or they are talking, or they are not taking seriously the class. But on the other hand, if there's a teacher who's more serious, more strict, more obviously that the things that he's saying or she's saying, he's gonna do it. For example, if you don't do this homework, you're gonna have a fight in the rest of the semester, and they do. In a way, they are like threatened, and that works better in the cases that I've noticed.
Yeah, that's a very important and very true statement. That's very, very true. Thank you, Mickey. Mitch, what's your opinion about what you just read?
When I dread someone, or
No,
what?
no, no. About the thesis of this writing here,
Ah,
that a prince, for example, says that a prince should ignore the cruelty, and this priority should be the faith and the unity of the subjects. This is the priority. I really like this sentence. A prince should ignore charges of cruelty and make his priority the unity of, and faith of his subjects. What's your opinion, Mitch?
it's like he. Uh, how, how can I say le hizo caso?
He obeyed.
Not obey to their ideas, to his moral, and instead of going to the cruelty.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, that is true. Can you continue here at the same time, please? At the same time, the prince.
At the same time, the prince should be deliberate in believing what he hears and in acting nor just create fear for the sake of fear. He should proceed with prudence and with humanity. Overconfidence shouldn't supersede caution, and carelessness would only lead to making the prince unpopular. For this arises the question, should a prince better be feared or loved? The answer is he should be both. But because it is hard to be both at the same time, it is much safer to be feared than loved. If one must renounce to one or the other, of men, this can generally be said they are generally ungrateful, overtalkative, imitators, dissimulators, cowardly in the face of danger, and greedy for money.
Okay, thank you, Mickey. We continue in a moment. But look
Yes,
how
sir.
he considers men, right? So if you have to choose one or the other, it is safer to be feared than loved. If you have to renounce one or the other, right? And look how he thinks of men in general. It's not very well. Look at all these qualifiers that he talks about men, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
When when people are in danger, we save face, we save ourselves, right? This ungrateful, overtalkative imitators, dissimulators, cowardly in the face of danger, and greedy for money. Well, that's I don't know. What do you think of this? All these qualifiers that he makes about men in general when they are in danger. Mitch, what do you think?
Uh, Sorry, teacher.
Could you repeat it? Sure. I don't know. It sounds weird in my computer.
Yeah, it's like a little sound or noise. I don't know if it's mine or which one. It
I think that
says,
it's from Mitch.
okay. It says that it's much safer to be loved if
To be
one must
first.
pronounce to be
Okay.
feared. Yes,
Hmm.
because men, when we are in danger, men tend to be all these adjectives. What do you think?
If it is better to be loved than feared,
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
I
As the
mean,
book says, if it is better to be, well, there must be a balance
yeah,
between fear to be feared or to be loved.
yes.
But it is more difficult to be loved than to be feared. So that's why I'm telling that depending of the context and depending of what you're developing. For example, if you are president, obviously you will have to be loved for the people, but sometimes we've seen cases where it's easier to be feared than to be loved. So I don't know. It is difficult to answer.
Yeah, I believe he gives a very good argument for it. Yes, Mitch.
I think, well, it's better to be loved because the people that care of you going to support you, going to defend you in front of the threats of yourself, going to be at your side. And if you are if you are feared, well, the people tend, okay, they have to obey you, but uh, deep on that fear, they feel rejectness of you. They don't like you, and if they got the opportunity to betray you, they're going to do it.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Actually, Mitch, that's more or less what the book says. What the author Machiavelli says, right next to this. Let's read it, please. When it says, "Can you continue from here? When you favor them,
Yes, when you
yes,
favor them, they are on your side, offering their blood, goods, life, and sons. When there is no real need, they are all on your side, offering their blood, good lives, and sons. When there are no, sorry, uh,
repeat it. Let's repeat it. Yeah, it's a
real need.
mistake.
But if you crow them, turning the screws, they revolt. The prince who relies on their word is ruined if he had no other defense. A friendship bought with money and not with nobility and soul may be open but is never stable. In a bad times you can count on this friendship. Men care less about offending one whom they most than one whom they fear. Love creates a bond that sadly obligates men only as long as it serves their own purpose. But fear is hardened by the sureness of punishment and never let you down.
Yeah, well, that is an incredible comment. Actually, one of these phrases is really impressive. Uh, what, for example, this phrase here. Can you read it again, Mickey, and comment about this, please?
Hmm. Men care less about offending one whom they love than one whom they fear.
Yeah, that's a remarkable phrase. What's your comment about this?
Oh, so let me know if I understood correctly the phrase. It says that men normally, uh, well, yeah, care less in offending someone who love to offending someone that they fear.
Yes, let's see that there is a difficult situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of your friends is very angry for any reason. He or she is very angry, and it's easier for him or for her, for this friend, to offend or to insult, to object, to be violent against a person that he loves than against a person that he fears. In other words, it's easier to say a bad word or to attack a person that you love when you are angry than a person that you fear when you are as well angry.
Mm.
It's like, for example, let me take a very, very crude example. Let's say that you have two pets in your house, right? And I'm
Yeah.
going to be very, very graphic. You have Kira, that is very lovely, very sweet, very tender. Is let's say that.
Sometimes.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, I'm
Mhm.
simplifying, and is let's say that is someone you love, and then you have a small lynx or small tiger, a small lion, or an animal that is dangerous, right?
Mhm.
And one day, both of them spill the milk on the table, accidentally, of course.
Ah, okay, now I got you. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's gonna be you love Kira, but it's very simple. Hey, Kira, you spilled the milk on my homework, and you get angry, and you tell her a couple of words because you were angry because Kira
Yeah.
spilled the milk. And then you see the little lion or the little tiger that also spilled the milk, and you say, "Well, I don't know if I'm gonna tell him something, right?"
Well, don't worry. Those things happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly. So the issue here is, for example, it's difficult to if you have been and well, I don't know if you have worked under a boss, but as your parents, as your friends that have been in a factory, that have been in a positions of authority where they have a boss,
Mm-hmm.
how easy it is for us to express our anger against a person of authority.
Yeah, of course.
You can be
Mm.
very, very angry, but you don't do the same as you would do that with another relationship with another person. What do you think of this, Mickey?
Yeah, makes sense. Probably it's for it's in nature of the humans, or I don't know, but yeah, of course, when you see someone who is um, more threatened, or how can I say
Threatening, threatening.
more threatening, uh, in occasions it's so much easier to, I don't know, say something to someone who you have the confidence or you love them instead of saying something to the people who could threaten you or who keeps you in part fear or of something, or yeah, that you have in part more respect because it's mm, in a better position of you. How do you say? In a better position than you.
Yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah, very good. Yeah, exactly. And I like what you say, Mickey. You say that that's human's nature. Who hasn't been there? Yeah, it's absolutely true. What's your Thank you, Mickey. What's your comment, Mitch? Please.
Uh, yeah, maybe we have to, if we are fear to someone, at least in my case, I could maybe not tag to that angriness that I talk. And for example, the example that you put with Kira and the lion, if I maybe I could use that kind of persons, use the correct, or be very careful with my words to not uh, scare them or go put them angry against me. Uh, choose the right words to them.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't know if I agree with this next phrase from Machiavelli, which says, "Love creates a bond that sadly obligates men only as long as it serves their own purpose. But fear is hardened by the sureness of punishment." Uh, I don't know. What do you think about this phrase? Sounds pretty strong to me, but I don't know what you
Love
think.
creates one obstacle is men only among serves their own purpose for hard and measurement. Love creates. What means bond?
Bond connection?
Okay, thank you. Bond. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Probably it is true.
Yeah.
For example, I don't know. Probably it's a full example, but the majority of people goes to work because they're gonna get a reward or they're gonna get a payment, obviously. But if there's a few quantity of people that they will continue going to the work if they don't gonna receive nothing, or sometimes they go because they know that if they don't go, probably the punishment is that they're gonna lose their job. So in part, probably yeah, it's true.
Yeah, yeah, actually, there is a theory which I
Uh-huh.
read somewhere that
Mhm.
the feeling of losing something is stronger than the feeling of gaining something. In other words, let's talk about reactions. We we react more to losing 5 pesos than to earning 5 pesos. In
Yeah.
other words, yeah, I don't know. This is more or less clear, right?
yes.
Yeah, of course. Happened to me.
Well, that's human nature. If you're gonna earn 5 pesos, okay, I'm happy. But if you're going to lose it, your reaction is stronger. I don't know if you agree with this comment. That's more or less the idea. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, of
It
course.
happens.
Why do you think this happens, Mitch or Mickey?
Maybe because the things that are yours, you already have memories with it, or you already have plans for those things, and if you in something, surely going to uh, quit, take out that plans or memories from you, uh, you feel threatening, threatened, threat. But if something that you are going to win, you really don't care much because you don't make already plans or memories with that new thing.
But that's an amazing comment, and that clearly explains something that I couldn't understand in the past, Mitch. And I am being honest. That gives an exactly clear explanation that you create an attachment, that you have memories. I was thinking about that for a long time. For example, let me give you an example. You guys, you have a friend that has a boyfriend, or you have a friend that has a girlfriend, and then that person, if you tell one of your friends, Mickey or Mitch, uh, leave your boyfriend and you get a new one tomorrow. That's close to impossible, right? Because this one has already an attachment. You already have memories with this person.
Yeah.
So they don't have the same value in your eyes
Hmm.
because exactly what Mitch says, you have created memories, you have created attachment to that person, to that object, to that situation, to that book. Okay, give away this book and I give you a new one. You say, no, 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 wait, this book has memories. My grandma gave it to me, or my dad gave it to me, or my brother or my
Yeah.
sister.
Hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Mickey?
Yeah, it is true because sometimes uh, we have like connection, or we have like misshaped memories that make us have more well, care more about it, about anything. For example, a book or a person. Obviously, there's not easy to replace a person to one day to other, from one day to the other.
People or objects for the matter, right?
Yeah,
From one day to the other. Or you can say overnight, right?
overnight.
Excellent comments. Yes, I like these comments very much. Well, this is a fabulous subject. I'd like to ask you to read this book. When you have a chance, let me record it. Let me save the record.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. Probably was gonna be my next book.
Yeah, it's a fantastic book, and it's gonna show you a lot of positive things about, well, interesting things about human nature and how the royalty consider humans in the times of royalty, times of kings. Let me record these in readings. Where's readings? I lost it. Okay, readings. It's a great book. Okay, I'm gonna have here the Prince Machiavelli. The Prince. Thanks for looking at that. Well, guys, Mickey, I have to go because I'm gonna go to Querétaro.
But yeah,
I need to see my daughter. But then,
no
when do we
worries.
continue for our next session?
Mm,
Mm,
so
I don't know. Probably could be at on Wednesday, the normal day.
Wednesday? Okay.
Yeah, in the morning
Maybe
if you
Wednesday.
can, it will be great.
In the morning. Awesome. Yeah, I believe 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8 or 8:30.
8 to 30, it's okay.
Okay. If we start like at 8:30, we finish 9:30. We start at 8, finish at 9. Okay. So we just make the final agreement. Maybe Tuesday night we confirm the time. Would that be okay, Mitch?
It's yeah, this is perfect.
Okay. Very good. Well, I wish you a wonderful day. Have a great
You too,
day. See
teacher.
you Wednesday, Mickey
Have
Mitch.
a good
Take
trip.
care.
thank you, teacher.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
great day.
Thank you,
Thank you
teacher.
very
Take
much.
care.
Enjoy.
Bye.